Vulnerability. It's not a word most people love. In fact, many of us avoid it like the plague. But what if I told you that embracing vulnerability is the key to living a more authentic and fulfilled life? Brené Brown, a research professor and storyteller, has dedicated years of her life to studying this very concept. She explains, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. That's right. The very things we want most in life come from being vulnerable. Surprising, isn't it? But why is vulnerability so powerful? Let's break it down. When we're vulnerable, we're being our true selves. We're showing up, flaws and all. We're not pretending to be perfect or putting on a mask to fit in. Brown says, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. It's about taking risks, even when we're scared. Here's the thing, many people think vulnerability is a sign of weakness. But Brown flips that idea on its head. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage, she explains. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we're actually showing incredible strength. We're stepping into the unknown, knowing full well that things might not go the way we hope. Now, let's talk about why we avoid vulnerability. It's simple: fear. We're afraid of being rejected, judged, or hurt. We think if we open up, people will see the real us, and what if they don't like it? Brown gets it. She says, we armor ourselves, hoping it will keep us safe, but in reality, it keeps us from being fully alive. That's the irony. In trying to protect ourselves, we end up missing out on the richness of life. But here's the good news. Vulnerability doesn't just leave us open to hurt. It opens us up to connection. Brown tells us, connection is why we're here. It gives purpose and meaning to our lives. When we let ourselves be vulnerable, we create space for deeper relationships. We let people see who we truly are, and in turn, we see them too. Let's be real, though vulnerability is uncomfortable. No one enjoys feeling exposed or uncertain. But as Brown puts it, vulnerability is the core of all emotions and feelings. To feel is to be vulnerable. If we numb ourselves to vulnerability, we're also numbing ourselves to the good stuff: joy, love, and belonging. Imagine this scenario. You're standing in front of a crowd, about to give a speech. Your palms are sweaty, your heart is racing, and you're terrified. That's vulnerability, but it's also where growth happens. Brown reminds us we can't get to courage without walking through vulnerability. It's the pathway to personal transformation.